Hello and welcome to a new housing stream by me, Alexander or Ellie. And yeah, I'm very happy that I can tell you something more about housing because obviously I'm a housing fanatic. And today I wanted to show you something about the basic glitching. And in the last housing stream, we talked about, or I talked about housing in general and how to get a house, and I forgot something very, very important. I'm very sorry. And that is when you purchase a house and when you get a house, no matter what size, and you don't go into the house and visit the house and go inside within 45 days, I'm sorry, not years, you will lose the house. The house will be demolished. So that is, I think, quite an important information that I kept from you. I'm very sorry. This one happened with an apartment, so don't worry. If you have an apartment, you're safe. You can be away from Final Fantasy as long as you want to. So yeah, you will get two emails, as far as I know, from Square Enix, which remind you that you should return into your house, or otherwise you will lose it. But yeah, that's it. I think you get like some money refunded. I'm not very sure how much it is. Some of the go will be refunded, but actually a lot won't be refunded. So this is it. This is my alt actually, and I use this apartment um, basically for myself in order to try things out when I'm decorating. I did a lot of decoration in the past. I even did commissions, but to be honest, I have to be decorating for quite some time, and glitching is a lot of, like muscle memory and stuff, and I'm very excited to show you how it works today because I have no idea actually if it will work or it won't work. So maybe we should go over some basic um, I things that or system configurations that you should be aware of, and you should make sure that you have them. So when you go to Keybind, and then you go to System, yeah, what is important is this one here: Display subcommands. Is the num asterisk, which is the default place. But if you have changed it for some reason, please make sure that it is, well, on whatever key that you have. But this key is very, very important for glitching. And the next one is confirm. This is on the numpad, the 0. And this is also very important for housing and for glitching. So please make sure that this is what you have, and if if you have changed it from the default setting, that you're comfortable with whatever you have changed it to. So this is one thing, and the next thing I wanted to show you is when you go into housing, into the menu, which is under social, usually if you're looking for it, and then housing, but I'm always keeping it here on my hotbar. And then you please go to indoor furnishing, and you go to the storage room. You have to make sure you want to be a display preview. Um, you want to be having this part enabled, and you want to disable the item bind prompt. So these are the settings I would recommend for you, or you should actually do so. Yeah, let's go. I'm very excited how this will go. Um, the basic items I use for glitching, and most of the people do. I know there are other things as well. Oh, I just realized that I forgot to put in the rug, but we can probably change to the character later, so I can do that. So, what I personally find very, very useful for glitching, and what most of the people you do, is a stage panel, a wall wood slat partition, and then the Riviera wall shelf. You will hate it and you will love it at the same time. Um, There is a reason why it is so expensive on the market board, because all of the housing enthusiasts have it. The wooden loft is very important too. The wooden beam is nice. The white rectangular partition, these are items that we will use later. And the bathroom tiles is nice as well, but I cannot show you um, how they come in handy as a marker, for example, because we don't have a house here. It's just the apartment. So I think I will change the character later and show you in my house how these bathroom tiles work. Ah, very intelligent. So let's go. Put all the stuff out. One small shelf here. The stage panel. The stage panel and this partition, they actually have the same purpose, but sometimes it is better to have a stage panel and sometimes it is just better to have a partition. And a lot of times, I have to admit, I personally find that PlayStation gamers are in a better position because they have a different menu and they can grab things more easily than we PC players, but this is the way it is. So yeah. Okay, here we go. So you have to, there are different ways, glitching and floating stuff. So if you want to glitch something into something like a piece of furniture into the wall, for example, or something like that, you usually do it with a so-called storage buff. With this one, so you want to have this cabinet in the storage, and when I want to place it, maybe I want to place it like half in here for whatever reason, I don't know. I cannot place it within the wall, you know. This is actually what is happening. So this is not going to work, but maybe I just want, for some reason, mostly because I want to have this part of the furniture, this one here, of the cabinet. The front, I want this as a decoration element. Let's say something like this. So what can we do? And what we can do is we use the storage glitch, the so-called storage glitch. And so we left click on the item. I have to, oops, move, you know, to the wall. Left click. You don't want to be far away from the wall. It's a finicky thing. Now let's see how it works. It takes some time. Glitching and house decoration, it's always about time. So, and now we are coming to what I told you before, is why you need those keybinds, because now after the left click from the inventory, we have to be pretty quick. We go on the asterisks on the numpad, and you will see that this is selected. Oh, you don't see it actually. It's selected. Whoop. Okay, that was too quick, right? We do it right again. Okay, let's see. Okay, so left click. Oop. It actually depends on oh, here we go. This is quite good. So we go on the numpad, we press the asterisk, and then the subcommand will open. You will see it here. And the subcommand says place, and then we hit the 0. In order to confirm, we have to be very quick, and then we escape the menu. This is it. And there we have the item placed. Now you cannot move it back and forth. This one is not possible after you have placed the item. The only thing that you can do if you go into the housing menu is you can rotate it the way that you want it to. But you like this. So if you don't like the way the cabinet is, like this, maybe you want like this, but you cannot move it forward and backward, then it will lose again. So if you want to have it, if you want to place it deeper into the wall, glitch it deeper into the wall, you have to find an angle so that you can place it the way you want it to. And this is where a lot of things, you know, come into place. This is actually the race as well. If you watch videos of people who do housing decorations, you often find that people play a Lalafell. And I personally made the experience that a Lalafell is actually pretty good for floating and glitching and all that stuff, simply because the camera angle can be very different. So this is an Alazane who is pretty tall, my alt here, and it is so, yeah, not so good, to be honest. It is better to do it with a Lalafell. So yes, this is the first glitch. It's pretty easy. Try it out. Fairly easy. So the next thing, and this is very interesting or not interesting, it depends on, is you have to understand that there is a difference between tabletop items and non-tabletop items. So the tabletop items you can put, like this lamp, you can put it on a tabletop, and that is very easy, and there is a very easy trick to make these things float at that height or at any height that you want. We will do it in a minute. Let me see. It doesn't work on surfaces like the bathtub, the Hingen bathtub that we have. It doesn't work on that one, so there you will have to float it anyway. But I will show you different ways to float things. Oh, that was great. Oh my gosh. As I say, I'm just a usual casual player. There are people who are much better than I am when it comes to housing. They do it all the time. I have to admit, I still play the game, not only housing. So, how do we float such a thing as this beautiful lamp? We can place it here. And this is a very easy trick that really works with every tabletop item. And this is, you put it on whatever height you want to, and then you toggle counter placement off. It's very important. Counter placement off. Then you take this item, you wiggle it a bit, and this is it. The item is floating. That's the whole trick. And you go outside. We can go outside. Oops. I will show you. It will work. It will be floating when we come back. There it is. Our lamp. Our floating lamp. See, you can do it with every tabletop item. So this comes in very handy if you have, for example, the fireplace, the huge one. If you want to put something on top of the fireplace, which is impossible usually, you do this glitch. It is, or this floating trick. It's very easy. and it's wonderful. So if you want to have items that are floated on surfaces which are higher, then you will do this one here. So this is very easy. We can take it down again. So, and now we're coming to the part where these items come in handy for different reasons. And you have to understand, if you want to float items, like what you see a lot of times is, that you have like another floor in apartments, like this one made out of wooden floors or whatever, and you have on top, you have some beds, for example. You want to have your bed upstairs. So if you're doing like this won't work. At least this won't work. So how do I get this bed on top of it? Because you see, this won't work, and it won't work with a sorry, and it won't work with this glitch as well. As I said before, the storage trick doesn't work here because you cannot put it up there. You have to float it up. So the question is, how do we do this? And now we are coming to the more nasty things, and this is where this Rivera wall shelf is coming into use. Actually, for the bed, you will have to use something else, but I will try to show you at first how we can float things with the white rectangular, which is actually dyed, the white rectangular wall. So you can understand the basic how it works. Okay. So the white rectangular wall is one of the nasty things to float. Why is it so? Because you have to find the hitbox, which is in the middle of this whole situation. So you want to put the partition or the stage panel, doesn't matter. You try to find the middle, and then you do something like this. You will take your wall shelf, out of the inventory. You don't have to do it out of the storage. You take it from your inventory, and then you place it underneath. And now you have to be real quick, because again, you place it but with your mouse, and then you escape the whole menu, the whole housing menu very quickly. And you hope that this partition is lifted a bit. If we hit the hitbox, well, let's see if we can try it. So you have to place it absolutely at the minimum height, so it's just barely, hanging at this partition, and then right click and escape. Oh, this didn't work perfect. As I said before, I'm lacking. And did something happen? Nope. Okay. Wrong key. Ooh, I'm sorry. It doesn't look like a pro, I have to admit. No, we didn't hit it. So let's give it a try again. So we place it. Then we click the left mouse, and we escape the menu. Here we have floated it. Do you see it? It has been so long. I decorated the last house. it, and really it needs some practice. I'm totally out of practice. So if you want to float it further with this partition, because this is one of the most difficult things to float up, is you make sure, please, that it won't be like this, but you just barely see. I don't know if you can see it. I will try to get the camera angle a bit better so you can see it. Like this. You see? That you can see that the shelf is underneath the partition. Okay? I hope you can, yeah, like this. I hope you can see it well now. Okay, and this is how you float it. Some people do it with a lot of shelves. Some people are doing it with a macro. I saw that. So this is all possible the way you want it. And this is actually what you are doing all the time in order to float things up. It's a very boring, very tiring process, but the outcome is great. This is actually why we do it. So once again, you place the shelf, be careful here, then you hit the left mouse button and then you escape the menu real quick and you will get the hang of it. So we see we have floated the wall a bit, and we do this all the time, maybe to, you know, have to build a beautiful door or something. You will see these wide rectangular partitions are used pretty often in housing, and so either you craft them yourself or you buy them from market board. I know they are pretty expensive, but the reason is they are used so often in housing because you can do a lot of things with them. So yeah. So this looks well, doesn't it? Exactly maybe the way we wanted to. It is floated, so we should be happy. There we go. Nothing happened. It fell down, and it fell down because we have to rotate it before we leave the apartment. We always have to rotate it in order to make the item stay in that height you have floated it. This is one thing, is we will do it in a second. I will show you that you have to be sure that there is a rotation, that you rotate the item. This is one thing. The other thing is, and I will show you with this futon here, is that there are items, and most items actually have a height requirement, a minimum height requirement, but I will get to that in a second. So we will go back to the housing system and we will practice some more. We can use this one, the stage panel. This is the classic way. I personally prefer the slate partition, but that's it. Just me, you know. I think everyone has. You really have to be patient, and it's all about practicing. Okay, so we have this, and now we rotate. We rotate it a bit. And then we will go aside. And back inside. And there it is. Floated just as we wanted to. Perfect. This is how it works. So, yeah. The next thing I wanted to show you was the height requirement is how you float something like this futon up. So let's take this one away. And what we want maybe is something like that. Well, this is another thing I wanted to show you, because if you take this wooden loft that you have here, you can use it either as a ceiling, kind of, but you, oh, I have to take grid snap off, and or as a floor, as a flooring. You can use the trick to turn counter placement off, wiggle it a little, and then you take it away, and this is it. It will stay the way it is. So I thought, oh, this is so great. So I wanted to float this one up here, because this obviously doesn't work. This was the idea, to put you know, the futon on top of it, and I thought that would be an absolutely great idea. Absolutely, it is a great idea, but I can assure you it won't work. So yeah, how do we do it best? Because I don't have a second wooden loft. Nope. Let's do it with the troop stage, simply because I don't have a second wooden loft. So if we place the troop stage, it's actually the same. Although, is it staying on the troop stage? No, I don't think so. I think the minimum height is the Hingham wardrobe that we have to have. So how can we, you know... Okay. So we can lift this one here, actually with a wooden loft. And it's just the same like before. You have to make sure that counter placement is on again, because the wooden loft has to be on this partition. And then you do just the same as I taught you before, meaning that you click left mouse and then you will leave like this, and it is floated. And then you make sure that you get more or less the same height as the troop stage, because you know, move the troop stage under it afterwards, like this. You have to check. Does it work? No. There's still a bit, but not much, so you have to be very careful about. And this is where we're coming to camera angles and how we can put things on. And why do I wish to be a Lalafell at sometimes? Oh, because this will be certainly too high when I glitch like this, but you can glitch it down as well. So wait, I will show you something. This is a good idea. We will take it to our advantage. Okay. So what you can see, it is definitely too high, so we're not very happy with it. But that doesn't matter. If something is too high, you don't have to start floating from the beginning. You just put it underneath the height that you wanted, the item to be, like this one. This should work, right? And the item will fall down. Like this. So you should be good. So this looks good, does it? No, it's too high still. Okay. Well, that's another thing, is looking at things from every different angle just to make sure, does it have the desired height. So this is, yeah, the pains of housing, and when you're lacking practice like I do, it will take you some time, but please don't give up. It would be easier to take a stage panel here, to be honest. Oh. Excellent. Taking the stage panel, I think, makes more sense. Well, I'm sorry, I'm not talking much, actually, because I'm concentrating. And I'm not very good at talking and concentrating at the same time, to be honest. Oh. No. That should do it. So I need something that is really helping me, and I will take this beam to get the right height here. Okay. Okay. So this should hopefully work. This is actually why I want to be a Lalafell. It's because the camera angle, you have to look from the downside. Yeah. And here we go. Okay. Look at this. This looks good. This is what we want to, right? So we take the stage panel and we rotate the futon so it should stay. We put this under it, and it doesn't work. This is what I wanted to show you. I'll be really honest, it's a pain in the ass. One thing I definitely have to say is with apartments, you cannot float things into the floor. You can do it with houses, but you're not floating things into the floor. You're floating it up into the next floor. Meaning when you are at -1, you float things up to, to the first floor. This is actually what you do. I will show you in my house in a second. So this is something that you cannot do with a, normal glitching mode. You cannot do it with a normal glitches, but apparently it is able with this device. Yeah, these are the basic glitches that you need. You can absolutely do everything. You can, lift these troop stage up, float them up until you get a different ceiling. You can, float wooden carpets like this one up. I don't know what's the name. They are under rugs, although it is not a rug. Where is it? This is so funny, when you search an item, you never find it. Oh, the flooring mat. The flooring mat is very useful as well. The flooring mat works as a ceiling pretty nicely. It's not that difficult to float. You can just use the Riviera shelf, to be honest. I cannot float this one because this is just a preview to show you, but this is not very difficult to float. If you have difficulties to get things up with the bookshelf, sometimes it happens. There's a little trick, and this trick here consists out of this rug here, the Oasis leaf rug. This rug, I don't know why, but if you put this, or if you use this rug like a shelf in order to float something up, like the rectangular partition I showed you before, it'll float up. I don't know, because it is so small, probably. So yeah, this is actually what is working. Maybe one other thing when it comes to decorations is make sure if you put on windows. I think I got some windows here on the character. I saw them before, like this. These windows. But if you have, if you don't want these walls, maybe you want a smooth wall, you don't want to have the structure. This is the structure that you find in lavender beds, and you don't like these pillars, you want it differently, you don't like the wood, you want something clean and modern. You might want to put these stage panels as a wall, which is working like this. Look at this, and so it looks pretty good. And when you do it with many stage panels, then you have a wonderful wall. So, and if I want to put it on this, even though it is supposedly a wall, as you can see, I cannot place it, which is some things. I mean, come on, some things in Final Fantasy you don't understand, but that's how it is. So what are we going to do is our beloved storage trick. So we place it here. Oh yeah, perfect. Then we take it up from storage. Then we hit the key Asterix place, and then we confirm, and that's where it is. And you can, these are my favorite windows, I have to admit, but as I said before, my main character is completely Asian style, so I have them everywhere. I want to store some because I wanted to show you is that you can have wonderful patterns with these. For these, for the pattern stuff, I have grid snap on, so it is much easier. Place it here. Like this. And there you see, you can work with different patterns. And the interesting part is that you can even build from these walls, from these windows, from every window actually. This has got nothing to do with a window. Let me show you. So if I want this to stand in the room like this, because it is on a stage panel, and I want to build something Asian style where I have these paper walls, I do it like this. So, and what are we doing here is the wiggle trick, meaning we take kind of placement off, we wiggle every window like this, wiggle it, all the 3 windows, we take away the stage panel, and here we go, our lovely paper wall. Easy going. It looks amazing. Yeah. Don't worry, some of the glitches aren't as difficult as they seem to be. So, let me switch my characters so I can get on my main character and I can show you actually what Ryonosuke's, my main character's house looks like behind the scenes, let's say it like this. So here we go. This here, for example, it's a veranda that is glitched into the wall here, into the entrance. And that's a storage glitch as well. Very easy. Just like that. Very easy. So, as you can see, it's a medium house and um, the floor downstairs is sealed off. And I will show you why. Here we go here, down here. Wait, I will have to turn on the light because you don't see anything. So this is what the housing looks like. These are things that are floated up in order to make this beautiful pond with the water working. I will show you in a moment. And these rectangular partitions are floated up just so I have like a small line from the supposedly sand I have there. And here we have our floated bamboo, and this actually are the wooden steps I have upstairs. I'm sorry. Here we are. Nope. Oh, sorry. I don't see anything. So here we are. Here you see the wooden steps that are floated. The upside, this is the bamboo that is floated that you have just seen, and this bit here is the the tiniest bit of the rectangular partition. I wanted here to have a, you know, this part divided from this garden-like area. And this is the very top of the water that is running in. And there are some carbuncle lamps floated in there. Now this is actually how it worked. Oh, there's another thing, this one here. Let me show you. This item, it's a huge item. I will just show you how it looks like in the preview. And I wanted this item because I love this piece. I don't know what it's called. This bowl with the smoke. I think it looks absolutely great, and I wanted it to be here in the garden. And so I did it. On top of this here, these are troop stages as a ceiling. Yeah. So you are downside, I will show you downstairs. We cannot see it because it is floated here up in the middle, and you really cannot see it. But I will show you in a second what this item looks like. Preview. What was the name? I think there are tables. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Here. This is the item. Oh, sorry. That was stupid. Okay. So this is the item I glitched into the wall simply because I wanted to have one of these. I personally find very beautiful bolt, but this is like this huge thing. And how did I do it? I mean, of course, with a storage trick. I put it from storage into the wall. So most of it, and it took ages until I got the right angle, until I was happy that you can see the stuff. You can see a little, if you look closely, you can see the fire from the torches, from one of the torches. When we go upstairs, you will see it. Let's go upstairs, I will show you. But I think it's fine. This here, this is the torch. You can see the light here. Yeah, this is actually working. This is how you put pieces together. And this is actually what decoration and housing is about. That you put pieces together and glitch pieces together and float pieces together that are not supposed to be together. I will show you some more in this house. Is like this lamps, those are floated, easy going. I just showed you how to float the lamps. The same goes here with our trees, the little bonsai trees. And this wonderful red, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, the red ribbon is from a fan, actually. Let's go and see how I have done it, if we can see it at all. Do you see the fan here? I will show you the fan in a bit. This is the ribbon from the fan. I floated the fan here just to have, and there's another one, just to have this ribbon of the fan because it looks so beautiful, I think. And the trees are floated here, just the way I showed you. And there are stage panels which are painted a nice blue, so you have the illusion that this is a sky. So this is working. I will show you the fan, what it looks like. This is the decorative wall fan. Yeah, you can look at it. Over to here, over here. This is the fan that is hidden behind it, and I just used the part of the ribbon, and I think it looks perfect. Yeah. So these were the basics of housing, glitches, and floating, and I hope I could explain some things to you, and I hope you understood how it works. Please make sure to check out YouTube videos. There are tons of YouTube videos that will help you with housing glitches, and maybe you need someone else who can explain better or different than me so you can understand it better. But please let your creativity run wild, because housing is so great. You can do so many things with housing, and I'm finishing off with showing you my apartment because I think we haven't been there, and I will show what you can do with a simple apartment. I actually got the same idea that so this is my apartment. I have here everything, of course, Asian style, and yeah, this kitchen area that we have. Oh, it's night at the moment, so we don't have any light, but usually the light is coming here from outside, and we go upstairs, and I floated these beds. You have to put them together and then float them together up so they will stand like in these are two beds just put together. It's very easy. The same goes with this table here. It is, you have to float it, and this was the difficult part because everything is floated here. The carpet, the rug, because this is the putting rug, colored in blue and ice blue, so it looks like water, and this what we saw before, and the same goes here. I can show you that as well. Um, and then we will wrap off what you can make of an apartment, and I had to close it here because otherwise we would see it. So let me turn on the light, and then let's go inside behind the scenes. So the first things first is you have a huge wall of these rectangular partitions, and I will show you why. Because of this. Do you see this? The separation between the rock here, that's should be like sand, looks like sand, and the floor. This is what it is. Costs you tons of housing items, housing slots. Okay. So this is the first thing. And we go through the walls, and this is what it looks like from underneath. Yeah. That's the secret of the Zen garden. Just like that. Okay. I always turn down the light simply because it just looks better when you have the light on 1 or just or 0. It depends really. It just looks better, and yeah, this is it. Thank you very much that you joined me. I hope you got some inspiration, and yeah, if you have any questions, come to our Discord. We have a housing section, of course, and I would gladly answer some questions and help you through the thing. So have a lot of fun, and hopefully see you soon. Bye.